Hey everyone, welcome. This is another in our series of Guns 101. Joining us is our normal crew that was helping me yesterday, and that, of course, is Amanda Sufkulovi on the Target Radio, Rob Morse of Self Defense Gun Stories, and joining us, another trainer, another podcaster on the Self Defense Radio Network, Ben Branam. And Ben, for the first one, we're going to kind of go back a little bit. We want to talk. We want you to talk for as long as you need, under 10 minutes. But let's talk safety for guns and safe gun storage.
Well, hi everyone. If you're a new gun owner, welcome to the party. We're so glad to have you. You have no idea what kind of great, really brotherhood and sisterhood that you've joined. We're all here to help each other, and I mean, we do most of this for free. That's why I'm here, is just to help people out. So welcome. And the first thing we got to do is be safe with that thing. You probably bought it because it's a dangerous weapon and you wanted to defend yourself and your family. Kudos on you for stepping up to do that. But safety first. We need to limit who has access to keep the good people to have access, and your little kids and people that shouldn't have access, bad guys, out of that. So the way we do that is we lock it up or we carry it on us. There's really no other option. Those are the two safe storage methods. And you lock it up in something that's designed to hold a gun safe, a gun vault, anything. You use that lock that came with you when you got the gun to lock it to something. It goes through the action. There's tons of videos out there. You can look that up, but you take that through the action and you lock it to something solid. And that will limit all of your access. The safety side of you. Yeah.
I'm gonna cut in for a second. So how do you store your concealed carry gun when it's not pants on, gun on?
I have a gun vault. It's a brand that has a quick access to it. It's a key and a little 4-digit key thing that you put your fingers on, and you set your own little special code to 4 to 6 digits, and then it pops open. And that's secured to my nightstand next to my bed. I don't store that. I don't store anything in there when I'm not home. So I'm just worried about somebody getting access to it. Namely, I have a 10-year-old son. He doesn't need access to any of that stuff. So that's the way I do it. Or I'm wearing my gun. I'm wearing a gun right now because pants on, gun on. I think you guys coined that term, and I use it all the time. I try to give you guys kudos for it, and it's an amazing little thing. Put your pants on in the morning, put your gun on.
Ben, why do people need a gun with them?
If anything bad's going to happen, you never know when and where. You could be sitting in your office talking to a bunch of great people and enjoying your time, or you could be cooking dinner downstairs in your kitchen. You could be out on your back porch trying to grill, or you could be lounging around your living room watching TV with your family. You just don't know when the bad guys are going to choose to come by your house. And having your gun on you gives you choices by giving you more time to deal with the problem. If you leave your gun in that quick access safe upstairs in your room all the time, when something happens, you have to go get it. And then you're limiting your amount of time you have to think and react of what's going on. Everything takes time, and the more time that you can sit there and think and take a deep breath and figure out what's going on, the better you can react to a bad situation. Like somebody kicking in your front door, trying to get in your back door, coming over your back fence. There's a million things that could happen in our normal lives. And then, of course, most of you guys are new gun owners because of COVID-19 and this whole nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows how bad this could get. And I'm hoping we're on the cusp of it and we'll start sliding down, and we'll just have to be back to worrying about normal problems like home invasions.
Well, I think a lot of people, we were talking about the fact that in the month of March, 2.5 million people bought guns, or 2.5 million guns were sold in the month of March, and 65% of those were to formerly non-gun owning households. So there's a lot of people who realized that when things are going to get hectic, there's nobody coming to help them, because the police said, well, if it's this circumstance, I'm not coming. If it's this circumstance, I'm not coming. If it's this circumstance, I'm not coming. So that means that they've realized that they need to be their own first responders. And part of what we're saying today in this video is the fact that part of being a first responder is being responsible. and responsible gun ownership is kind of where you're going and what you're talking about.
Exactly. Peter Parker, the stupid Spider-Man movie, said it the best. With great power comes great responsibility. Well, having a firearm gives you the power to take a life. And with that power becomes great responsibility. You have to treat it correctly, safely, and make sure you use it in a good way to help yourself and help humanity, not to hurt anybody.
Ben, you've put more ammunition downrange than I have. Probably, I'm guessing by a factor of 6. And the statement is, everybody either has had a negligent discharge, meaning the gun went bang when they didn't intend it, or they will. Is that a true statement? Meaning that we try and be cautious, but wow, a moment's inattention and it gets away from us.
Yeah, that ending statement is probably your best one, that moments and intentions. And it's really, I like how you use negligent discharge. It's not an accident. The gun didn't accidentally go off. You did something to make the gun go off. Guns today are incredibly safe. You can throw them off of your roof, you can kick them, you can stomp them, you can hit them with a hammer, and you can even break them. If you hit the gun hard enough to break, it will never fire again. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it, it's not going to fire unless you pull that trigger and turn the safety off if it has a manual safety. So you got to be cognizant of that. I can't say that word. That it's your negligence that's going to cause that gun to fire and hurt somebody. It's not an accident. So you got to take responsibility for that. And the responsibility for that is learning the gun safety rules. There's 4 of them. Jeff Cooper came up with them in like 1960 something, and they still work great today. And as long as you follow all those rules, you can't have I call it an unrecoverable accident where you hurt somebody. We all have, like you said, Rob, there's those that have had a negligent discharge and those that will have one. And it seems that is an acceptable thing in our culture, and I don't like that at all. I am paranoid beyond belief about my gun safety. And if you hang out with me and you want to shoot, we'll go to the range, but you will be safe because I'm super paranoid. I want to be the guy that goes to my grave without a negligent discharge.
I tell all of my classes that I want to leave the class without having a bullet hole in me that I didn't come with, right? So that's my goal each and every day, is to not have an inadvertent bullet hole. And so I just keep it day to day to day. But exactly.
Well,
Number 1 range rule when you shoot with me is don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Ben, let's amplify that. As you try and shoot faster and faster, your finger will come on the trigger, you'll prepare it, and sooner or later, you think the sight's blind and the gun fires a little earlier than you intended. That's, as you called it, a recoverable error. You grabbing your gun that's not in a proper holster and putting a bullet into the chair because you were sitting down, that's barely recoverable. That might not be recoverable. Now you're depending on luck.
Yeah, there's your problem. It's all luck there. If you grab the gun out of a poorly adjusted holster and you put your finger on the trigger and you pull the trigger while you're trying to snatch that gun out of the holster and it goes bang, you're not in control of the firearm and you're not in control of what's going on. That is just pure luck, whether you get shot in the leg or you shoot somebody else or not. We don't do luck in our gun safety. We learn the rules, we follow the rules, and we help each other out on the rules too, because I don't know, guys, we all think we come out of the womb knowing how to shoot. And our egos are, bigger than my head right now in this video. And it just doesn't work. We have to be able to talk to each other about that when we're doing something unsafe. Because sooner or later, no matter how paranoid you are, you'll get distracted, something will happen, and you'll mess things up. Even in combat, when I was with the Marines, when we would mess up on safety rules, when we did a debrief, we would talk about it. If you violated one of the safety rules in combat, as an NCO, I would let you know, and that is not going to happen again, because we are not going to have any of those unrecoverable accidents. We might have the accident where 2 guys come into a room and point the rifle at each other and go, oops. but we're going to have that discussion so that we can learn and keep going. So it's no, the other thing I hate about, you'll hear, I don't know, kind of quasi gun people is that they think that they get further advanced down the line and they don't need the safety rules anymore. That this is an advanced technique and the safety isn't really as important. No, the more advanced you get, the more you learn about this stuff, the more you need the safety stuff. If you bypass the safety stuff, you're almost guaranteeing that you're going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else by accident sooner or later. So I don't know how to harp on this more if you're a new gun owner. It gets really boring to talk about safety for 4 or 5 hours unless you're like us and you're totally into it, because we geek out beyond anything. I mean, Gadget Geeks and Guns, it's a show on the network. I love those guys because they go so far in the weeds, and I'm off camera. We've had hour-long discussions about safety and stuff with those guys, and they're just friends of mine, and it's incredible. We go way into the weeds. So you got to do the basics.
Ben,
Let's go to the
Ben,
basics.
let me pull you back to not.
Well, and we're
but the middle of the road.
11 minutes into a 10-minute video too.
Okay.
Okay, wrap it up.
Then Ben, let's close with this. You went through the police academy.
Yes.
You were a contractor. You were a Marine. You were also a hired contractor. And you're telling me the safety rules still apply to you?
Yes. Everywhere, always, no matter what. So we're wrapping up this video. I'll go with you. Look up Jeff Cooper's 4 rules of firearm safety. Learn them, love them, know them, memorize them by heart, and then live them. And you will never have an accident that you can't recover from.
And we've done those as videos, so they can find those in this video 101 section.
Very cool. We are going to set this one aside. And YouTube viewers, we're going to be having a lot more of these with Ben. And Facebook viewers, hang out about 30 seconds. Thanks for watching, everybody.